Fluffy learns to listen, a tale of kindness and responsibility. Fluffy was a tiny ball of fur with bright green eyes and a playful spirit. She lived with her loving owner, a young girl named Lily, in a cozy house on the outskirts of town. Every day, Fluffy would spend her time exploring the house, playing with her toys, and causing mischief wherever she went.
One day, while Lily was at school, Fluffy snuck into the kitchen and climbed onto the counter, eager to explore the world beyond her usual play area. She had always been curious, but this time her curiosity got the best of her. As she tiptoed across the counter, she spotted a bowl of freshly baked cookies, still warm from the oven. Unable to resist the sweet smell, Fluffy reached out her paw and swiped a cookie from the bowl. Just as she was about to take a bite, she heard a voice from behind her. "What do you think you're doing, young lady?" It was Lily's mother, who had come home early and caught Fluffy in the act. Fluffy froze, realizing that she had broken the rules and disappointed her owner. She knew she was in for some trouble, but little did she know that this was just the beginning of her adventure. Fluffy's heart sank as she realized she had been caught. She looked up at Lily's mother with guilty eyes and meowed softly, hoping to be forgiven. But Lily's mother was stern. "Fluffy, you know better than to climb onto the counter and take food without permission. You could get hurt, or even worse, make yourself sick." Fluffy hung her head low, feeling ashamed. She knew she had made a mistake, and now she had to face the consequences. But as Lily's mother scooped her up and carried her back to her bed, Fluffy couldn't help but feel a twinge of curiosity. What else was there to discover beyond her usual boundaries? As she curled up on her cozy pillow, Fluffy made a vow to herself. From that day forward, she would try her best to follow the rules and listen to the advice of others. But at the same time, she couldn't help but wonder what other adventures awaited her beyond the safety of her familiar surroundings. The next day, Fluffy woke up with a sense of excitement. She had made a promise to herself to be a better behaved kitten, but she couldn't shake off the feeling that there was more to life than just staying in her comfortable bed all day.
As she played with her toys and watched the birds outside, Fluffy noticed that Lily's mother had left the back door open. The warm breeze and sweet scent of flowers wafted in, tempting Fluffy to venture outside.
But Fluffy hesitated. She remembered the lecture from the day before and knew she should stay inside. However, her curiosity got the best of her, and she padded towards the open door, peeking outside. The world beyond was full of wonders. There were trees to climb, bugs to chase, and endless possibilities for adventure. But Fluffy remembered her promise to follow the rules and hesitated, unsure if she should go outside. Just as she was about to turn back, she heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. Fluffy's ears perked up as she saw a small bird flutter out of the bush, seemingly unharmed. Fluffy was intrigued. She had never seen a real bird before and felt a sudden urge to explore. She inched towards the bushes, trying to get a closer look, but as she did, her paw accidentally brushed against a thorn. With a yelp, Fluffy pulled back and looked at her paw. A small cut had formed, and it was starting to bleed. Fluffy realized that her curiosity had led her astray once again. She knew she should have listened to Lily's mother and stayed inside, but instead, she had put herself in danger. Fluffy limped back to her bed, feeling sorry for herself. As she curled up on her pillow, she couldn't help but feel frustrated. Why did listening to others always have to be so boring? But as she licked her paw, she realized that Lily's mother had warned her about this. If she had followed the rules and stayed inside, she wouldn't have gotten hurt. Fluffy made a decision then and there. She would try her best to follow the rules and listen to the advice of others, even if it meant giving up on some of her adventures.
Days passed, and Fluffy did her best to be a well-behaved kitten. She listened to Lily's mother and stayed inside when the back door was open. She played with her toys and watched the birds from a safe distance, resisting the urge to pounce.
But even though she was following the rules, Fluffy couldn't help but feel bored. She missed the excitement of exploring and the thrill of the unknown. One day, as Fluffy was playing with her favorite toy, she heard a soft meowing outside. Curiosity got the best of her, and she padded towards the window to see what was going on.
To her surprise, she saw a group of kittens playing in the backyard next door. They were jumping and chasing each other, having the time of their lives.
Fluffy watched them for a while, feeling envious. She longed to join them, but she knew she had to follow the rules and stay inside. Or did she? Fluffy looked back at her bed and then at the kittens next door. She wondered if Lily's mother would let her go outside to play with them, just this once. With a hopeful heart, Fluffy approached Lily's mother and asked if she could go outside to play with the kittens next door. Lily's mother thought for a moment and then said, "Well, Fluffy, you've been doing such a good job following the rules lately. But you must remember that you still have to be careful and listen to the advice of others. If you promise to do that, I will let you go outside and play with the kittens." Fluffy promised to be careful and listen, and with that, Lily's mother let her out to play. As soon as she was outside, Fluffy felt a sense of joy and excitement. She ran over to the kittens, and they welcomed her with open paws.
The kittens were mischievous and wild, but they were also friendly and kind. They showed Fluffy how to play hide and seek, and they taught her how to climb trees.
As Fluffy played with the kittens, she realized that listening to others wasn't always boring. In fact, it could lead to fun and exciting adventures. But then, just as they were having the time of their lives, one of the kittens warned them about a nearby dog that was known for chasing cats. Fluffy froze, unsure of what to do. She wanted to keep playing, but she also knew she had to be careful. The kittens looked at Fluffy and said, "Don't worry, Fluffy, we'll help you. We'll stick together and keep you safe." Fluffy felt grateful for her new friends and realized that listening to others was not just about following rules but also about looking out for each other's safety. Together, they hid behind a bush and watched as the dog walked by. As the dog disappeared out of sight, Fluffy and the kittens let out a collective sigh of relief. They continued playing, but now they were more cautious and aware of their surroundings.
Fluffy was having so much fun with her new friends that she didn't notice the sun had started to set. The kittens began to say their goodbyes and headed back to their own homes. Fluffy realized that it was time for her to go back inside, too. She said goodbye to the kittens and started to make her way back to the house.
As she walked back, she thought about all the fun she had with her new friends and how important it was to listen to others and follow the rules. She also realized that sometimes, listening to others could lead to unexpected and exciting adventures.
But as she approached the house, Fluffy's heart sank. Lily's mother was waiting for her, and she did not look happy. "What do you think you're doing, Fluffy?" Lily's mother scolded. "You know the rules. It's dangerous to be outside at night."
Fluffy hung her head in shame. She had broken the rules, and she knew it. Lily's mother continued, "I'm disappointed in you, Fluffy. But I'm also glad that you learned the importance of listening to others and being careful. Just remember that rules are there for a reason." Fluffy nodded, feeling remorseful. She knew she had made a mistake, but she also knew that she had learned a valuable lesson. As Lily's mother picked her up and carried her back inside, Fluffy promised herself that she would try even harder to follow the rules and listen to the advice of others. The next day, Fluffy woke up feeling determined to be the best behaved kitten she could be. She remembered the lesson she had learned the day before and knew that she needed to show Lily's mother that she was responsible and trustworthy. Throughout the day, Fluffy followed the rules and listened to Lily's mother's advice. She ate her food without making a mess, played with her toys without breaking anything, and took a nap when it was time to rest. Lily's mother noticed Fluffy's good behavior and praised her for it. "I'm proud of you, Fluffy," she said. "You're learning to be a responsible kitten." Fluffy felt a sense of pride and happiness. She realized that listening to others and following the rules wasn't just about avoiding trouble, but it also made others proud of her. As the day went on, Fluffy had an idea. She decided to create a special toy for Lily's mother to show her appreciation for all the guidance and care she had received. Fluffy found some yarn and began to weave it into a ball. She worked hard on it, and soon it was ready.
She presented the ball to Lily's mother, who was delighted by the gift.
"Thank you, Fluffy," Lily's mother said, petting her affectionately. "You're a thoughtful and loving kitten." Fluffy beamed with pride. She felt happy and content, knowing that she had shown Lily's mother how much she cared and appreciated her. As night fell and it was time for Fluffy to go to bed, she cuddled up in her cozy bed, feeling grateful for the lessons she had learned and the friendships she had made. She knew that she had a lot more to learn, but she was ready to listen, follow the rules, and continue growing into the best kitten she could be. The next day, Fluffy woke up feeling excited to start a new day. She was determined to continue following the rules and listening to others, but she also wanted to have some fun. She asked Lily if she wanted to play a game of hide and seek, and Lily agreed. Fluffy was thrilled, and she ran off to hide, giggling with excitement.
As Fluffy hid, she heard a faint meowing sound. She followed the sound and discovered a tiny kitten who had wandered away from her mother.
"Are you lost?" Fluffy asked the kitten. The kitten nodded, looking scared and worried.
Fluffy knew that she had to help the kitten. She remembered the lesson she had learned about listening to others and following the rules, and she knew that the right thing to do was to bring the kitten to Lily's mother.
Fluffy gently picked up the kitten in her mouth and ran to Lily's mother. "Look what I found!" She meowed excitedly.
Lily's mother was surprised but pleased to see the lost kitten. She thanked Fluffy for bringing her back and quickly found the kitten's mother, who was relieved to see her little one safe and sound.
Fluffy felt happy and proud of herself for helping the lost kitten. She knew that if she hadn't listened to the meowing and followed the rules, the kitten might still be lost. As the day went on, Fluffy played with Lily and the other kittens, feeling content and happy. She realized that following the rules didn't have to be boring, it could also be fun and rewarding. That night, as she cuddled up in her cozy bed, Fluffy felt grateful for the new lessons she had learned and the new friendships she had made. She knew that she still had a lot to learn, but she was excited to continue her journey of growth and discovery.
The next day, Fluffy woke up feeling even more determined to follow the rules and listen to others. She knew that it wasn't always easy, but she also knew that it was the right thing to do. As she was walking outside, she saw a bird perched on a tree branch, chirping happily. Fluffy couldn't resist her mischievous nature and decided to chase the bird. But as she ran towards the tree, she suddenly remembered the lessons she had learned about respecting others and their space. She stopped in her tracks and watched the bird fly away. Fluffy felt a pang of regret for almost breaking her promise to follow the rules. She realized that it wasn't just about listening to others, but also about respecting them and their needs.
She continued her day, playing and having fun with her friends, but always making sure to be respectful and considerate of others. As the sun started to set, Fluffy felt proud of herself for how much she had grown and learned in such a short time. She knew that she still had a lot to learn, but she was eager to continue her journey of becoming a better kitten.
As she drifted off to sleep, Fluffy felt content and happy, knowing that she had made the right choices and had become a better kitten for it.
The next few days passed by quickly, and Fluffy continued to follow the rules and listen to others. She had even started to help Lily's mother with chores around the house, like washing the dishes and sweeping the floors. One day, as Fluffy was playing with her friends, she saw a little mouse scurrying across the field. Fluffy's instincts kicked in, and she wanted to catch the mouse. But she also remembered the lesson she had learned about respecting others and their space. She knew that chasing the mouse would be wrong and that she needed to find another way to have fun.
So she suggested to her friends that they play a game of tag instead. They all agreed, and they spent the afternoon running and playing, having a blast without causing harm to anyone.
Fluffy felt proud of herself for making the right choice and for finding a way to have fun without breaking any rules or hurting anyone. That night, as she snuggled up in her bed, Fluffy realized that she had become a better kitten, not just by following the rules and listening to others, but also by finding creative ways to have fun and be happy.
She knew that there was still so much more to learn and discover, but she was excited to continue her journey of growth and self-discovery.
As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, Fluffy continued to grow and learn. She became known as the most well-behaved and considerate kitten in the neighborhood, always eager to help others and follow the rules. But even with all of her progress, Fluffy never forgot the lessons she had learned about listening to others, respecting their space, and finding creative ways to have fun without causing harm. And as she grew older, Fluffy became a role model for all the other kittens in the neighborhood, teaching them the importance of kindness, respect, and responsibility.
Years passed, and Fluffy grew into a wise and gentle old cat. But even in her old age, she continued to inspire others with her wisdom and kindness.
And as she closed her eyes for the last time, Fluffy knew that she had lived a good life, full of love, joy, and friendship. She smiled, knowing that her legacy would live on through all the kittens she had inspired over the years.
Good night, little ones, and remember always to listen, respect, and be kind to others.
As the story of Fluffy comes to an end, we hope that you have learned the importance of listening to others, respecting their space, and following the rules. Remember to always be kind, considerate, and responsible, and to find creative ways to have fun without causing harm to anyone. We hope that Fluffy's journey has inspired you to become the best version of yourself, to always strive for growth and self-discovery, and to make the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time. And as you close your eyes and drift off to sleep, know that you are loved, valued, and appreciated, and that you have the power to make a positive difference in the world. Good night, little ones, and sweet dreams.